What's up, Bona family? Mike Lindsley back with you for an NL Sports Take brought to you by Camillus Golf Club, Stumble and Monkey Brewing Company, and Batavia Downs Gaming. St. Bonaventure, they take care of Canisius this afternoon in Western New York. And look, first of all, I'm glad the Bonnies won. Second of all, I'm glad this game is over because I can't stand Bona Canisius games. I can't stand Niagara Bonaventure games. I know they have to play the rivalry 100 plus years, blah, 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 but they make my blood boil. And you're always nervous. You're always wondering, waiting for something bad to happen. I felt good about this game for about 85% of it, though. I really did. And, Bonnies are up 6 points at the half. And they just were really, really efficient today. I mean, the offense, 53.4% from the floor. I mean, they have players that are fast and big and skilled, and they use the whole floor. They use it in the half court, the ball. They use it in the full court and on the break and all that. They use the floor. And here's the thing. They can get to the 10. I mean, my God, when you look at the skill set of all of these guys, from Moore to Bowen and Council Jr., the length and the skill and the size, and it's dribble, and the arm is up, and they're already there. They're already at the rim. They're already from the paint to the rim in a step or two. And I thought they gunned too many three-point shots. I mean, you had 19 attempts. In a game like this, maybe buckle down on that because you're offensively so efficient. They did go to the free throw line 24 attempts and they made 20, so a lot better than game one. But really, this game was won by 5 players just totally dominating in double figures. Offensive efficiency, they controlled the paint, and they rebounded like crazy in this game. I mean, 37 rebounds to 23. They crushed Canisius on the glass. The only time I got a little shaky in this game was in the second half when Canisius is bing, bing, bing from three-point land. And I'm texting with my man, Matt Motika, during this game, and we're going back and forth. I said, I don't like these three-pointers that are going. He said, yeah, they're contested, but a couple of them weren't. They got leaked, and the contested ones were going in. So it's almost like you have to close double, and then when you leave them open, you've got the numbers game goes up and 14 to 32. I mean, you shoot basically 44% from the floor there, or from three there. You can't say enough really about McMillan the fourth. I mean, he was sensational in this game. It felt like he didn't even miss once. He missed 4 times in the game. He missed 1 3, and he missed only 2 free throws out of. I think this guy scored 31 points. But I thought Bona, did a great job, with the bench points too. I mean, they get, Hinton Jones give you 14. Canisius only had 5 off the bench from Saga. So that was another big thing. But, I just thought the sharing of the basketball, the efficiency, the floor space, the floor acknowledgement of teammates, knowing where they are, the recognition of a lot of these ball players, you can tell. And this is where a lot of the model is now for college basketball. The one and done has kind of passed us by. Even the teams that have won titles, and I'm glued to Carolina and Kansas last night. What a wild one that was. Kansas blowing them out in the first half, Carolina coming back in the second half, and then Kansas hanging on Rock Chalk Jayhawk at Allen Fieldhouse, which that place looks like a blast to watch a basketball game. But you think about it, and you look at the veterans. You look at, Carolina's got 2, 3, 4 program guys now led by R.J. Davis, and he had a terrible shooting night, and they still, came back and did their thing. And you look at Hunter Dickinson, and you look at a couple of Kansas program guys. You look at some of the old Jay Wright teams that won national championships. Like, the model is veterans and building it and getting reps and experience and knowing, the game inside and out, so that. And this is a big benefit to have if you're a Bona team too, that doesn't have as many resources as Power 5 and whoever else, for a couple of reasons. One, NIL portal and all the rest is gonna, the challenges are there. But the other thing is, because of that, because you have all these new players, having older veteran players, I feel like more veteran players with more reps from other schools are going to come in and gel together better, as opposed to, oh, I've been at Bona for 1 year, you were at Delaware for 1 year, and you were at Arkansas, Missouri State, this school and this school, and now you're here for 1 year, and it's like, well, or you're like, or two freshmen and two of those guys. No, you've got like 3 years at one place, then they go to Bona, 3 years at one place, and then they go to Bona. And Noah Brown, who's been in the Bona program and knows the culture, and Schmitty, and everything that is Bonnie basketball. So I think that does help when you get veterans who have been staples in programs coming to another program. They can relate to the other kids coming in, the chemistry and all that, and you can see it on the floor already. Now, we're only 2 games in, but I just like how they can stretch it. I like how they can offensively get after it. If you look at this team, and I think I alluded to this in the win over Cal State Northridge, if you just take the roster and you're a basketball guy, a basketball gal, and you go, and you look at even Bologna, 6'8", 6'11", 6'5", 6'7", 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", 6'10", 6'8". And they're going up and down the court like it's nothing. Skill set, size, length, talent, athleticism. And the more I watch Chance Moore, God, I just love his game. I mean, you're talking 6'6", 215. You're talking about a typical Bona stretch 2-3 type player who can just fly up the court. Now, he's played at multiple spots going in, but he played a couple at Missouri State, Arkansas prior. This is a different kind of player than a guy who's gone one place to the next place to Bona, because he started and knows Power 5. He does mid-major for a couple, and he goes into Bonaventure, and he grew, and right now it looks like this dude's ready to explode. I mean, again, Mark Schmidt, man, and these guys, the staff, like finding these players, it's just remarkable. I mean, this guy, Chance Moore, was good enough to play at an SEC basketball school to go to Arkansas. I mean, think about that for a second. He's from Georgia, from the South, and he averaged 10.7 last year, 10.6 the year before. He's already at 18 points a game in two games. Now, again, 2 games, let it have it, but he's efficient. He can beat you from inside, outside, inside. He can run the break. These guys instinctually, too, like I like Chance Moore being able to grab it and look. The guards can see the play ahead of time. Like, they must be great pool players because it's ping, ping, ping. Wayne Gretzky, the greatest hockey player of all time, he has said for decades that when he played, he was a good player because he went to the puck, but he became a great player when he went to, where the puck was going to be. And I feel like a lot of these guys go to where the ball is going to be, and I think that's a great thing. But a typical Bona guard here, stretch 2, 3, 4, guard forward, you can mix and match him, and the skill set's great, and he can go up and down the floor, and they just cruise. I mean, it's catch, go, and that'll get some recruits too. That'll get transfer portal guys in, because if you play fast, if you play up and down, if you play exciting basketball, you're playing above the rim, it's exciting. People want to do that. That's why Red Autry did it at Syracuse too. A lot of coaches say, the doldrums, man, do we want to sit in a zone? Do we want to do this, that? Yes, I've said for a long time that if Bonaventure can be efficient from the floor and shoot free throws and lock down Schmidt defense and blah, 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 and win 63-60, I trust it more. That was with those teams, those models. Maybe Bonaventure just said, hey, we got to try this. And that's okay. Trying new things, doing new things, adjusting to the portal and NIL and who you can even get as recruits. Your model changes, your team changes, your system changes every single season. But the baseline, as Woj has alluded to and Schmitty's alluded to and everybody's alluded, the baseline is still knowing Bona basketball and knowing the kid to bring in and the school and the fit and what we do and all these different things and playing hoops in the middle of where we are. Not going to say nowhere I said it, but I didn't want to say it because we're all tired of hearing about that. So I was thrilled with this win. I really was. And I know that things get tougher. Lemoyne's going to come in. They're a tough team. I know Northridge just blew the doors off them, and Lemoyne almost beat Syracuse, but that's the way the ball bounces in college basketball. But, when you look at this team, to start 2-0, you win at home, you win at Canisius, always a tough game. They haven't won there in, 7-8 years. You go at Florida Gulf Coast. You got a couple of home games coming through it, right? The Utah State game is going to be brutally difficult, as we know. That's an ESPN2 game, so Bona gets some national coverage there. They'll probably, at least 55 or 60 cutaways to Woj in that game. And then Bucknell on the road will be tough. UB, Providence. I mean, there's, at Siena, Jerry. God, I really want to go to that game on a Tuesday. Maybe I could swing that one. How could I do that? Niagara, always a tough game, and then it's right into the A10. So I also don't want to hear from people. I'm going to say this once, and then I'm not going to say it again. hopefully. The people who are posting about a weak schedule, get out of here with that stuff, because it doesn't matter how tough or how easy. You go through your non-con, you play your con. Conference is going to be tough always in the A10. You might not have 400 ranked teams like some other conferences, but you're going to play on the road and at home, and there's tough teams. There are tough teams. Dayton, VCU, we know the drill. On the road, it's always a challenge for Bonaventure anyways. It doesn't matter. Teams are all trying to get into the tournament, and once the tournament hits, all bets are off. Ones can lose to 16s now. 15s can lose to 2s. We've seen 3s go down a million times to 14s. Enough is enough. And for a Bonaventure team that always has disrespect, in other words, if they have one bad loss, it counts as 4 bad losses, and like literally you have to like go undefeated from there to try to get an at-large. Enough with the schedule, the bitching and the moaning about the schedule. Enough. I'm not going to answer you. I'm not going to listen to it. I'm not going to hear it all year. I'm just not going to do it. And I'll start removing comments, and I will be the first one to tell you that I did it. And I don't want to be the cancel culture guy. I don't want to be, like, oh, you ruined my voice. You're such a meanie. It's annoying and it's stupid and nobody wants to hear it, okay? Schedules are what they are. I've seen teams in Power 5 conferences schedule the hardest schedules ever, and they've made the Final Four, and other times they've scheduled the hardest ones ever, and they've lost in the first round. It just does not matter. When the tournament comes, it is win today, move on, lose today, go home. And it's the complete crapshoot of a lifetime, the tournament. So this stuff about, well, Bona's not playing enough, and this, they're playing Utah State. I'm looking right here at 4 or 5 teams that easily could be tournament teams. Siena could easily win the MAC. 1 or 2 teams from the A10 could go. Utah State, watch them all year. They can shoot the 3. Florida Gulf Coast, we've seen what they've done in the past. So enough of the scheduling. They're playing teams out of conference, in conference. It's not as hard as the past. Who cares? The goal is still the same thing for Bonaventure. They have got to win probably the A10 tournament to get a bye or to get a bid in the NCAAs. It's still the same thing. And if you can get there, it doesn't matter how you get there. Once you're there, everything hits reset and the cookie crumbles the way it crumbles. Enough with the schedule. Period. End of discussion. Nice win for the Bonnies tonight. 87-78 at Canisius. Mike Lindsley with you here. It's an ML Sports Take brought to you by Stanley Law Offices and Welch & Company Jewelers. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. And as I always tell you, enjoy the games.